Hola, aloha, buongiorno, buongiorni, namaste, ohayo yagamasu. Здравствуйте, xin chào. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Brunel. You've seen the title. So, there are some hacks going around the place, and they're for oily people like ourselves, like me. Do they make any difference? I mean, there's putting a powder into foundation making a difference. There's setting your face and putting powder on before you apply foundation matter. There's as putting setting spray before you actually do another layer of setting spray. Do any of these hacks really make a difference? I mean, I've seen videos out there's life-changing hacks. This will change your life. Your life will be better. Your life was shit before, but now it's going to be better. No, not really. That's at all. But you know what I mean. So I decided not just to test one out. To be fair, some of these hacks I do use them, but I wanted to test them out in one go. See if they really make any difference, so that anyone who is really oily out there, and I don't mean just a tiny little bit of oil, I mean extremely oily all over your face, not just a T-zone, whether these hacks really make a difference to the longevity of your makeup. So we are testing the babies out. So in order of being able to be tested and application, as well as you will see throughout the video, the first one is a powder before foundation. There's powder before foundation making a difference. So we're going to apply that first. Then I'm going to set the powder in place and wait for that to dry. And after that, we're going to also then apply powder into the foundation, mix that together, and then apply it to the face and see whether that makes any difference. And the final one, we're going to bake and cook one side of our face and see whether the cooking comes out with something really tasty. In that case, what I mean is, does it make a difference? Combining all these hacks together, do they really make a difference? Or they're just a waste of time? So that's what we're testing. And just to give you an idea of what the products I'm going to use, because I'm not going to tell you everything about the face, because it's not really about the face and the full face makeup. It's about the product. The first one, the foundation that I'm using, is this one, which is the Laura Mercier. Sorry, she is French, so that's what I'm saying. So it's the Laura Mercier powder. This is in medium deep, I believe it is, translucent powder in medium deep. So I use that because it's got a bit of color to it rather than just a white powder, and I don't want a white cast on my face, so that's why I've used that. But if you are of a different skin tone, then you can use something more translucent or that works for you. So that's the first one. And it's not a lot of foundation, it's just a light dusting over the face. And then the second one is setting spray, and obviously you can use any setting spray that you like. I've done a review recently about setting sprays under 15 quid, and the cheapest one, the one that I use the most every day, is for Makeup Revolution, and that's the one I use to set my face. Following that, I then kind of the highlighted areas on my face, I've set those with I think it's Sacha Buttercup, which I've mixed with another powder which has got some red undertone to it. Mix the two together. I use that underneath my face, and then on the side again underneath my contour to kind of help bake, and around this side of my face to help bake my face was again the Laura Mercier that I've used all over the face. And yeah, so these are the products that I've used. Will they make any difference? Well, we'll find out. Let's go and watch.
This is a homage beat.
Okay, so the time now is 13:47, so it's about 27 minutes that this side has been baking. I've done this side as well and started with finishing off my eye makeup. All I did again was I put concealer underneath, and the concealer that I use is the first time I'm using it. This is from Bobbi Brown, a new concealer, which is the Instant Full Cover Concealer. Let's just say I'm not necessarily a fan of this particular concealer. It comes out really thick, almost as if it's got too much silicone in it. It has a slight sheen to it, but the applicator doesn't get the most out of it. When you get it out, there's only a tiny, tiny small amount. Now, I know, really, generally speaking, you're meant to use just a small amount of concealer, but you really struggle to get the product out. And it feels very, very sticky, like it's got too much silicone, or I mean, I was going to say glue, but it wouldn't be glue, but it would be silicone. So I wouldn't be surprised actually if that's the main ingredient in there. It is definitely full coverage. It does blend into your foundation quite well afterwards, but I don't necessarily like the fact that I have to struggle and constantly pop the applicator in to get the quantity of concealer that I want. So, and I think it's about £20, £23 it costs, and I'm not necessarily a fan of this one. So I'll use it because I bought it, but I don't think I'll be going back and buying another one of these. But if you want to see a review of this particular product on its own, by all means, comment below and let me know, and I will do a proper review of that, although you already know how I feel. But to be fair, I can actually apply it fully, properly, and then you can see for yourselves. Anyway, so yeah, so now it is time to take off this one. And I've not put any setting powders on this side at all. I just do the contour, no setting powder underneath, nothing else that I've placed on top. So I'm going to put one more powder, which is the foundation, powder foundation, which is from Fashion Fair, called Cola with a K. You guys have heard me mention that before. I need that one because it's got a touch of, it's a really unusual color. It's got some red in it, but it's got kind of like small shimmer to it, which is very, very, very mild. It's not something that's super strong at all, and I absolutely love it. I love that foundation, so I'm going to use that to bring a bit more color because I'm looking a bit yellow. So I use that normally to bring more definition around my face. So we are now just wiping this after baking, and yeah, so this is all off. I'm going to go and finish off the rest of my face, a little bit of blusher, some lipstick, and then we will test it out. But yeah, not bad so far. Let's see, will it be worth it? Do they actually work? Will I be nice and matte, oily as hell? We'll find out. Ta-da! This is my face all done. And just to recap on the items I've used, well, actually, after applying this stuff, I finished my face off with the powder from Fashion Fair called Cola, which I needed to put all over my face so that it can be very even. As you can see, it's a lot more even, I think. Let me know if you disagree. Anyway, initially, what I can tell you straight off is there is actually a difference between this side and this side when it was coming to application. You didn't get to see that because I wanted to speed things up and it will take too long. You ain't got all day, have you, to watch my videos? No, and neither have I. What I noticed initially is after applying the powder, it was actually things looked a lot smoother. And also my pores looked a lot smaller on this side than they genuinely did on this side. Even now, I can actually tell the difference. Hopefully you'll be able to see that in the camera. But honestly, especially here, there is a lot more. This side is a lot smoother. This one is a bit more textured. So there is a difference when it comes to applying that. Also, the powder in a foundation application, don't put too much of that powder in there. If you put too much of that powder, it becomes very, very difficult to blend your foundation. It becomes patchy. And also the other thing is, once you apply that powder, please make sure you apply it really quickly. You apply the foundation quickly because it dries out really fast as well. So do not put too much powder in the foundation, especially if you're going to use this particular powder, which is the Urban Decay Velvetizer, which is actually meant to be put inside powders anyway to help the longevity mattify the foundation. And also, did I say put into powder? Put into the foundation to mattify the foundation and elongate the length of the longevity of your makeup. So specifically it's created for that, and also to boost kind of coverage, so that maybe you can go to medium or full cover as well, full coverage. But I haven't actually found that, to be honest, and I've been using this for quite a bit now. But yeah, so don't put too much. They do say that you put about the size of a dime, and that will be in the thin layer, so don't go mad with that. Otherwise you can't really apply foundation at all. It becomes really patchy and it becomes really horrible, and by the time you've done one side, that one is dried and everything. Not good at all. Best of all, used with a damp beauty blender or sponge. No good with I haven't used it with a brush, but if you're going to use a brush, I would probably advise you to maybe spray it with a fixed blast or something else, because a dry brush, it really will make life very, very difficult. So you need something that's damp to be able to help the application and help it spread. But I actually prefer this side so far. It's a lot smoother, this one. But we will find out throughout the rest of the day whether it stays exactly the same. I'll be back in a few hours and we'll see how that goes. See you soon. Good evening. It is now 8:55, so I would have had this foundation on for nearly 8 hours. Now, just to clarify, the foundation it is not a mattifying foundation. It's just a normal standard foundation from Makeup Forever, and I love it. It's one of my favorites. But this is my face after many hours. Now you can clearly see that both sides are shiny, and just so I can kind of update you, especially my nose, which is usually the one area that kind of usually gets super shiny first of all before anywhere else around my face. Then it'll be around this area here where you usually would have I've got, and most people would have, the enlarged pores, and then the other shiniest part is exactly here around the forehead. Just to let you know that actually now I've just remembered, when I was sort of baking my face, I've just remembered that I didn't actually bake the side of my nose. I didn't actually bake my nose at all. So that might have helped. There is definitely more shine on this side. Even lower here, there is still a bit of shine in this part of the foundation. Definitely, I can start beginning to see sort of my own skin tone underneath. So there's a bit of breakage. It's breaking apart and separating. But you can see here, it's just kind of like a slight sheen. Definitely different from that side, a lot less. The one area here which is super shiny, as you can see on both sides, and look at that. Woo, you're going to fright. Can you see your own reflection? Anyway, but yeah, so this side definitely is a much shinier, in my opinion. I've looked at it and examined it in different lighting. Obviously with this light, I've got a ring light here which emphasizes everything, really does emphasize everything. Underneath my eyes here, that is still dry, and this side again is a lot drier, probably up to about there, you can see. Whereas this one is just about there. There's a slight difference. And normally speaking, to be fair, under my eye area, I don't have an oil put, but it doesn't get oily. But you can see on the sides here as well, there's a slight sheen on this side as well. And this one definitely has way more. I've not touched up at all. So this is my face since I actually put the makeup on. It did get kind of hot actually. It probably went to about 24 degrees, which may not seem like much, but when you are extremely oily, it makes all the difference, believe you me. So no touch-ups. Would I recommend doing this? Probably, and I would probably recommend baking for a bit longer, which I'm going to do anyway. I'm also going to be doing a next review coming up very shortly. New powders that I'm going to try out and see how they are. We'll take it from there. Maybe they might work a lot better than this one. But these are the hacks. They're not perfect, but I'm coming from a level of extremely oily, not the standard just a bit T-zone. If it was just a T-zone, I would say these ones will keep you matte properly. But when you're extremely oily, and after 8 hours of wear without any touch-ups, this is the shine that you have. That is brilliant. That's my opinion. But hey, more shine. You can see there, that area. But so I've got a highlighter, so that's going to be a lot shinier, to be fair, around the cheeks. But you can see there, woo, give me an egg. Give me an egg. breakfast. It's late, but you know, it's never too bad. You can always have breakfast even in the evening. Give me an egg. Let's fry a few. Let's fry a few. My nose here. Yeah, bacon. Go on, slap it here. Anyway, that's enough of that. I hope that you found today's video useful. I just wanted to test all of these and see if they make a massive difference. As I've already stated, not hugely, but there is a remarkable difference. For somebody like me who's extremely oily, this is something that I will try and do as often as possible. But baking is a bit more time consuming because I'd have to kind of do everything long before and then wait for that to happen. Plus, I also did a bit, just to kind of remind you, when I did my baking, it wasn't a huge amount of powder that I put on my face. It's actually just kind of like a thin layer that I placed. So maybe next time I'll try more powder and see if that makes any difference. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope that you found today's video useful. If you have any questions, don't forget to ask, like, subscribe, comment. Come and join me on Instagram mainly. I'm also on Facebook, but mainly on Instagram, where I actually try now to upload at least once a day. And I upload everything from food that I kind of eat to, you know, I'm going to be uploading more on fashion and outfits and so on. Yeah, come and join me. Why not? Thank you. Bye.